Who is this?
This is Bud.
When I was there, the same with Mexico, Latin America, and anywhere else you guys want to hustle me into.
Times you wanna go where everybody knows you.
Michael Knight.
The Viggen, fast, loud, and packed a punch. There's no disputing the impact the Viggen has made in the aviation world. The aircraft was born into the Swedish Air Force with impossible expectations and exceeded every one of them. The Viggen was thrusted right into the Cold War and was tasked to protect Sweden. When the Viggen entered service in 1971, the Air Force had already completed its new reorganization doctrine. In 1961, the Supreme Command structure was reorganized completely. This would lead to the complete restructure of the Swedish military in 1966. This new structure would put most of Sweden's military forces into 6 distinct military districts, eliminating all control of the Supreme Command. This also included most of the air groups that were previously under the command. There was one air group that would remain under the Supreme Command's direct control. This would be the Attack Squadron E1, or Sweden's Defensive Strike Group. The Attack Squadron was large, consisting of over 9 air wings, including the F-6 Vaskoda Air Wing, the F-7 Skaraborg Wing, and the F-15 Helsinki AJ-37 Strike Wings. The Attack Squadron is where the Viggen would get its well-known reputation. Being at the heart of the Attack Squadron, the Viggen, along with the supporting aircraft, would be tasked to be the first and the last line of defense of Sweden. The Viggen, under the full authority from the Supreme Command, would run a 24-hour strike mission against the attackers, going in one wave after another. To train for such missions, the Viggen strike wings would run grueling training missions, consisting of treetop level altitudes near the speed of sound, much lower than other air forces would deem safe practice. During these training exercises, the Air Force and the Viggen would develop a bad reputation due to Viggen crashes caused by pushing the pilots to their limits. The Viggen air crews would be put to the test, and so would the airframe. This would become the proving ground for the Viggen. Despite the early bad reputation, it quickly became a favorite amongst the air crews who loved the raw power from the large engine and the seat-of-the-pants flying they did. For the ground crew, it was a relief to work on the Viggen compared to the old Draken. Since the Viggen was designed for a quick deployment, the ease of maintenance and fast turnaround time meant less hassle for the ground crews. The Viggen was starting to gain global attention and was being featured in international magazines, movies, and children's toys. Saab themselves would use the aircraft to try selling their cars, claiming the car would be tough built like the Viggen. The aircraft itself would become iconic, and most people would immediately recognize the aircraft from its distinct Christmas tree shape and thick humpback fuselage. As the AJ-37 matured, it was being developed into separate airframes, some of which I've mentioned in previous videos. These variants of the Viggen including the SK-37, a 2-seat trainer, the SF-37, a photographic reconnaissance aircraft equipped with advanced cameras and sensors instead of radar, the SH-37, the maritime reconnaissance aircraft equipped with both radar and the ability to carry camera pods as well as weapons, and the JA-37, which was the fighter interceptor evolution equipped with the advanced air-to-air radar, radar-guided missiles, and new engine that could handle maneuvers without stalling. As the Viggen grew old and technology advanced, the Viggen was showing its age, and Sweden was ready for the next step in technology. Saab would start development on its next multi-role aircraft, the JAS-39 Gripen, in the early 1980s. The Gripen would use new avionics and the brand new fly-by-wire system to allow for greater control and maneuverability. In 1983, a prototype Viggen was converted to accept the new fly-by-wire system being used in the Gripen as a flying test. This test would lead to the final polish needed to build the Gripen. And by 1987, the first prototype of the JAS-39 Gripen would roll out of the factory on Saab's 50th anniversary. The goal of the Gripen was to take all the great things introduced in the Viggen and Draken, but in a much smaller and lighter package. As the Gripen started rolling off the production line in 1988, it would slowly start replacing the Viggen fleet as more rolled out. By the mid-1990s, all the AJS-37s would be retired, and by 2005, all variants of the Viggen would be retired from the Swedish Air Force.
Anfall. Bra fart. Ska vi se sedan om vi hittar målet. Upptagning kommer. 1901. Rolla runt.
Although retired, the Viggen left behind a legacy that its predecessor will have a tough time to beat. Well, that wraps up our Viggen series with day 1, which is our last episode in the series, and I gotta say, I can't be happier to have the weekend off so I could go ahead and relax and enjoy the Viggen when it releases tomorrow, and I hope you guys do the same. I may do a future series on similar aircraft in the future, or other DCS aircraft if there's interest, but that won't be till sometime down the road. And I just want to take a moment to thank everyone that came and watched the videos and gave me some criticism. I want to thank you guys so much. I appreciate all your feedback, and I wouldn't be doing this without you guys watching, so thank you so much. Other than that, this is the Werewolf, and it's been fun.